Yellowstone has been recognized as one of the most popular shows on television ever since it made its debut in 2018. It has been a smashing success for the Paramount Network. Kevin Costner's career was also reinvigorated by Taylor Sheridan's modern western, which placed him in the starring role of John Dutton, the patriarch of the Dutton family, who run the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, which is one of the largest ranches in Montana. The launch of the 5th season of Yellowstone took place in 2022. However, the future of the series and the franchise was called into question when it was reported that Kevin Costner was leaving the show. Additionally, Paramount Network had already ordered a sequel series that will continue without Costner's involvement. Here is everything you need to know about the future of Yellowstone so that everyone is up to speed on the situation currently. Up until August 2024, it was generally accepted that the remaining episodes of Yellowstone Season 5 would be the final episodes of the series at that point. On the other hand, it seems as though Paramount Network is not eager to let go of its most popular show without a fight. According to a report from Deadline, negotiations are already taking place with Reilly and Hauser to co-headline a 6th season of Yellowstone. The character of Beth Dutton is played by Reilly, and Rip Wheeler, the foreman of the Dutton family ranch, is portrayed by Hauser. A continuance makes logical because neither of the actors has a clear link to the new characters who will be at the focus of the upcoming Yellowstone spinoff, Madison. Both of the performers have been with the series since the beginning, and a continuation makes sense because of this information. There is currently no time frame that can be considered firm for the beginning of filming for Yellowstone Season 6, and contracts have not yet been signed until now. The one thing that we are absolutely confident of is that Kevin Costner will not be reprising his role. Since February 2023, every story has said that McConaughey is now in discussions to star in the Yellowstone spin-off series. All of these reports have been consistent. At this point, there is no evidence to suggest that McConaughey has successfully completed his transaction. It was rumored by Puck in February 2024 that McConaughey would not sign on until he had seen a script for the spin-off version of the show. In the event that McConaughey would agree to a contract, it would be his first main role on television since the premiere of the first season of True Detective on HBO in 2014. At this stage in their respective careers, it is arguable that McConaughey's star power is stronger than that of Costner's. Indeed, the official name of the Yellowstone spin-off program is now The Madison, despite the fact that it was formerly known as 2024 while it was in an earlier stage of development. Along with this piece of information comes the first description of the series, which is said to follow a New York City family in the Madison River Valley of central Montana. Additionally, the series is described as a heartfelt study of grief and human connection. At this juncture, we are unable to provide a satisfactory response to such a significant inquiry. The only thing we can do is surmise that McConaughey might be playing a member of the Dutton family who was simply brought up in the previous conversation. To construct a series on a figure that appeared out of nowhere, however, would appear to be an unusual choice. It is also possible that McConaughey's character will marry into the Dutton family, or that he will just be someone who is not related to them by blood or marriage. Both of these scenarios are additional possibilities. Simply put, it is far too soon to speculate on the paths that the new series will take. Indeed, Michelle Pfeiffer will play the lead role in The Madison, and she will also serve as an executive producer on the show alongside Taylor Sheridan, who is the creator of the series. Chris McCarthy, co-CEO of Paramount Global, recognized the news and said in a statement, "Michelle Pfeiffer is a remarkable talent who imbues every role with emotional depth, authenticity, and grace." McCarthy made this statement in response to the reporting of the news. She serves as the ideal anchor for the most recent installment in the Yellowstone world, which is titled The Madison and was conceived of by the creative mind of Taylor Sheridan. There was no mention of McConaughey's name, and the most recent updates regarding the series have noticeably omitted him from the list of available information. Pfeiffer's connection in the project was first revealed by Puck in February 2024. The publication stated that the actress was in negotiations to join the Yellowstone spin-off alongside McConaughey, but that she was not yet committed to the project. Following what appears to be a period of inaction lasting several months, the cast of the Yellowstone spin-off, The Madison, is about to come together. Patrick J. Adams, who is known for his role on the television show Suits, has reportedly agreed to play a leading role opposite Michelle Pfeiffer. The character of Russell McIntosh, a man who is characterized as someone who has followed the life path set before him from the beginning, will be characterized by Adams. In this series, Elle Chapman, a film actress whose previous credits include A Man Called Otto and Florida Wild, is making her debut on television as Paige McIntosh. She is described as a somewhat self-centered woman who indulges in a luxurious New York lifestyle provided by her parents and investment banker husband. She is also the daughter of Pfeiffer's character and is married to Russell. Moreover, Bo Garrett, who plays Abigail Reese in Firefly Lane, has been cast in the role. Although Abigail does not appear to be a member of the McIntosh family, she is a single mother who has recently gone through a divorce and is described as a resilient and sardonic New Yorker. Paige's sister, Abigail, is also the other daughter of the character played by Pfeiffer. The role of Abigail's eldest daughter will be played by Amia Miller. Matthew Fox, who is known for his role in Lost, has also been cast in a key part on the series. He will play Paul, who is described as a self-reliant bachelor who loves the outdoors. It is not known whether or not he is related to the McIntosh family. Deadline previously reported that veteran actor Kurt Russell is also in discussions to join the series. This information was included in the story. On the other hand, McConaughey was not mentioned once more, which begs the question of whether or not he will truly make an appearance in the spin-off. Deadline reported that it has not been revealed whether the McConaughey-fronted franchise extension will be set on the Dutton Ranch in Montana or elsewhere, and which of the original stars of Yellowstone will appear in the spin-off series, but we hear a couple of them have received offers. This was prior to the actors' strike that occurred the previous year. It has been brought to our attention that the plan for the returning cast members might not be confirmed until Sheridan has completed writing. It was not the intention of the creators of the Yellowstone spin-off to incorporate characters from the first series of Yellowstone. On the other hand, a story that was published by Puck in February 2024 indicated that Yellowstone stars Kelly Reilly, Cole Hauser, and Luke Grimes might potentially collaborate on the spin-off with Yellowstone. The characters of Beth and Case Dutton are played by Reilly and Grimes, and Hauser plays the role of Rip Wheeler, Beth's husband. In exchange for their participation in the spin-off, the three individuals are seeking substantial compensation raises. Both Reilly and Hauser are requesting a rate of $1.2 million and $1.25 million per episode, respectively, for their respective episodes. Not included in the package were Grimes' pay expectations. According to the follow-up that Puck provided in March 2024, discussions were still under progress. Given the conclusion of Yellowstone Season 5A, it is difficult to imagine Reilly and Wes Bentley returning for the spin-off series. This is due to the fact that their respective characters, Beth and Jamie Dutton, have publicly considered killing each other as a result of their ongoing disagreement. Despite the fact that Beth is John Dutton's daughter and Jamie is his adopted son, the two of them have quite different goals in mind for the future. Jamie has previously disobeyed his family by requesting that his father be removed from his post as governor of Montana. This action runs counter to the family's values. That alone has the potential to send Jamie to the train station, which is the location where the Dutton family typically disposes of the remains of their adversaries. Before they can begin work on the spin-off, the cast members of Yellowstone must first and foremost complete the remaining episodes of the 5th season. A number of the key performers from Yellowstone, on the other hand, have expressed interest in participating in the spin-off. Reilly disclosed that several conversations had taken place regarding her participation in the spin-off program. "I just care about finishing the main show with as much care, as much passion, and as much love as I can muster to put into it," Reilly said in an interview with Collider when the interview took place in March of 2024. "That is the exclusive concern of mine. Currently, I am sort of getting ready for it, and that is the thing that I care about the most since it is my tunnel vision. The question is, what happens after that? There are conversations, as you are aware. Not everything that you read should be trusted. This is complete and utter bullshit. In any case, we are going to, wait and see what happens. I am unable to provide a response at this time, but we'll have to wait and see." In regard to the spin-off, Hauser also expressed a sentiment that was comparable. His primary concentration is on completing the 5th season of Yellowstone. Hauser, on the other hand, indicated that there are situations in which Rip, Beth, and other important characters might make an appearance in the spin-off. According to an interview that Hauser gave to Country Living in April 2024, he stated, "I'm so focused on finishing Yellowstone the way it needs to be finished right now, basically just the show itself. I know that there is some stuff on the horizon when it comes to Taylor's ideas for Kelly Reilly, myself, and some of the other cast members. We'll see where that leads, but I know that there is some stuff on the horizon. Just for the time being, let's finish strong. Let's do the best we can. I'm curious to see where he goes creatively with it, but for the time being, let's just finish strong." By the 20th of May, 2024, the Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 has officially commenced filming in Montana, according to an official announcement made by Paramount Network. That ought to be more than plenty time for the series to film the last 6 episodes and then turn them around for a final airing on Paramount Network later on in this year. Deadline has reported that Kevin Costner has not yet returned to the program, and it does not appear that there are any plans for him to do so in the near future. Horizon. An American saga is now being promoted in France at the Cannes Film Festival, and Kevin Costner has stated that he plans to begin filming the 3rd installment of the Horizon franchise once he returns to the United States. It is not completely out of the question for Costner and Sheridan to reach a consensus that would allow him to make an appearance in the final episodes. Having said that, the window of opportunity for it to occur is rapidly closing now that the program is back in production. Fans of Yellowstone have been waiting for new episodes for months, and they now know when they will finally be able to watch them. This coming Sunday, November 10th, the 2nd installment of Yellowstone Season 5 will make its debut on Paramount Network. In the United States, the new episodes will also be made available on Peacock. However, it is currently unknown whether the streaming service will have them available on the same day as Paramount Network, or whether viewers will have to wait for a longer period of time before they can watch the episodes online. As a result of the fact that Paramount Plus will premiere the episodes on the same day that they are broadcast, fans in Canada will not experience the same problem. According to a report that was published by Deadline in February 2023, the disagreement between Costner and the Paramount Network was an issue with his participation in the filming schedule for Season 5. The article mentioned that Costner's first priority was Horizon, a new Western picture that consists of multiple parts and is his current passion project. In light of the fact that Costner was already committed to those projects, the first half of Yellowstone Season 5 was only shot for a total of 50 days, as stated in the report. However, Costner stated that he only wanted to spend a week shooting for the remaining episodes of the ongoing season. Following that, Paramount Network made preparations to bring an end to the series and move toward producing a sequel show. Sheridan addressed the matter in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter that took place in June 2023. In the interview, he stated, "My most recent conversation with Kevin was that he had this passion project that he wanted to direct. On the subject of when he could be finished with Yellowstone, he and the network had a disagreement. I stated, we are able to certainly work a schedule toward his preferred exit date. And we were successful in doing so." According to Sheridan, "My opinion of Kevin as an actor has not changed during this time. As far as I can remember, Kevin and I have never had a problem that we were unable to resolve over the phone. People are unable to communicate with one another, begin saying things that are not true, and attempt to shift blame based on how the press or the public appear to be behaving once attorneys become involved. However, once lawyers become involved, everything changes. The fact that he took a lot of stuff on the chin is something that I don't think anyone else deserves, and I'm disappointed in him. The conclusion of his character is shortened as a result. Despite the fact that it does not change anything, it shortens it. Until very recently, Costner has not agreed to participate in any interviews concerning the topic. According to a story by Deadline, the conversation about Costner's departure from Yellowstone occurred during the divorce procedures that took place in September of 2023. During the course of his testimony in court, Costner stated, somewhere along the line, they wanted to change things. Horizon was impacted as a result of their desire to complete 5A and 5B. Horizon was going to be my movie, and then I was going to leave that show, work on my movie, and then switch to B. I was just performing a performance once a year, but now I was performing it twice a year. Costner continued by saying, "We did negotiate. Due to the fact that there were problems with creativity, I attempted to break the impasse." Moreover, Costner mentioned that he was offered $24 million to film Yellowstone seasons 6 and 7, but they declined the offer. As an additional point of interest, Costner has stated that he will probably go to court regarding his disagreement with Paramount Network. On the other hand, as of January 2024, the actor has not yet initiated any legal proceedings. Furthermore, it is not yet clear whether or not Costner will be returning for the remaining episodes of Yellowstone. On the other hand, according to a rumor that was published in March 2024 by Matthew Belloni of Puck News, Costner is interested in returning for the final schedule of episodes of Yellowstone. According to what Belloni said in his newsletter, Kevin Costner has been telling people that he is planning to return for at least a cameo and possibly more, but there are currently no discussions for him to do that. There is a possibility that Sheridan will not be interested in revisiting his written scripts in order to accommodate a send-off for John Dutton, even if Costner drastically reduces the financial and time commitment demands that he presents. These remarks were supported by Costner himself, who has spent the past 3 months discussing his desire to return to Yellowstone in some form, and on his own terms. He has also stated that he would like to do it on his own terms. Even in June of 2024, when fresh episodes of the series are already being produced, Costner continues to express his admiration for the show in a conciliatory manner. During his interview on NBC's Today, Kevin Costner gave the following statement: "I've supported that thing and I've loved it. I have placed a great deal of importance on it. Under the right conditions, which I believe is something that all of us want, I would jump at the chance to go back. In my opinion, it is absolutely necessary for there to be favorable conditions." According to Costner, there's always a chance, which means that he may still come back even at this moment. "I adore the thing in question. It is imperative that you make that point abundantly apparent." In the present moment, Costner is promoting his latest Western, Horizon. In addition, his interview with Deadline, which took place on May 13, revealed that he appeared to be angry about the situation and the story that has been reported in the media over the course of the past year. When asked about the Yellowstone issue, Costner stated, "I don't want to get down in the gutter with the Yellowstone thing, but what I'm telling you is straight up. Those ******ing bastards have given me a beating, and I know more than a few times where it's coming from. I have been beaten by them. I basically made the decision to avoid getting into that. But if you know me well enough, you know that I made Yellowstone the top priority, and it would be inappropriate to imply that I would prioritize anything else. All of those things were not started by me in any way. It was true. Although they were performing a tap dance, this poor guy was also required to compose a great deal of material. Additionally, I am perplexed as to why they did not stand up for me." There is a correlation between the account that Costner provided during his divorce trial and his most recent comments regarding the challenges that Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 is encountering, specifically the lack of scripts to shoot. In addition, he clarified the origin of the myth that he was only interested in working for a week on the episodes that were still to come in the remaining season. The screenplays for anything else were not available, according to Costner, who stated this. I answered, "Well, look, I'm doing my movie," which is what you read at the end of the article. I actually didn't have that week to give them, but I said, "I'll do that. If you want me to work a week because you want to kill me or anything else, I can give you a week." I said this because I truly didn't have other options. And after that, they twisted that into the statement, I only wanted to work for a week. According to Costner, I'm typically working 6 or 7 days per each assignment, regardless of what they are. And they took that, and a source on their side spun that into, well, he only wants to work a week for an entire season, as the following sentence states. Are you of the opinion that I am that? Never in my life have I been absent from work. I have never left before I have fulfilled all of my commitments under the contract. I try to remain as long as I possibly can most of the time. To tell you the truth, I worked the 9-day stretch in July in an effort to assist them, even though I was going to begin working at Horizon on August 1. In spite of the fact that I worked for them on both Saturday and Sunday, they still need 4 more days. When I assumed that we were going to do this so-called B, I provided it to them, but there was no B item since there was nothing else. The only thing I was going to do was give them those additional 4 days. Additionally, Costner expressed his annoyance at the fact that Sheridan and others did not defend him in the press during the time that these tales were being circulated. The fact that they did not speak concerned Costner in the world of how things are done. They were silent, he added. I'm wondering why you don't stand up for me. I went out and made a sale for you on this item. My intention was to only work on a single season. I prepared it all for 3. I was successful in 3. So I started with 1 and worked my way up to 3, and then I did a 4th one for them, and they wanted to do 3 more then. Consequently, I drafted the agreement to carry out that task. They had a collapse. My contract required me to work 5, 6, and 7 hours. I have a contract to carry out that role. Not only was I not attempting to figure out how to get out of that situation when we first started, but there is nothing I could have done to get out of it. Horizon was something I wanted to undertake once we were completed. The entire thing took place because they closed down for an entire season without informing anyone, and I was out of employment for a period of 14 months. Costner continues to assert that he is open to the possibility of returning for the last episodes of the show, despite the fact that the debate appears to have caused him to feel angry. In a statement, Costner stated, "I am very open to coming back. If they have so many other things going on, it's possible that this could come full circle and it will be a really cool 2 seasons when it does. Or if the writing is there and I am satisfied with it, I can put a stop to it. My mind is open to that." On the other hand, I was beaten up because these guys did not speak up for me and allowed wild stories to be told. That does not make me happy at all. On the other hand, if the writing is there, I will be doing the same. It was said by Costner that they were in first place. Due to the fact that I was exhausted from visiting Yellowstone, I decided not to undertake Horizon. That is a complete and utter joke. Horizon is not anything I did in order to compete with Yellowstone. For a very long time, I have been in possession of this. Taylor had read the script 3 years ago when he was considering using other writers for Yellowstone. I stated, "Well, you can look at what John bade," and I did, but I did not believe that I was qualified for the position. In my opinion, the way you write about Yellowstone rocks. Consequently, he read that and was aware of the nature of the matter. It's as easy as that. Paramount and 101 Studios handled this situation in an improper manner. 5, 6, and 7 were the hours that they had me. I gave my consent to carry it out. After that, they started making gradual adjustments to their structure. In the event that Yellowstone viewers were looking for a positive indication regarding Costner's reunion with the show, this is it. It was during an interview with Entertainment Tonight when Kevin Costner revealed his wish to portray Dutton as the one who is responsible for his own destiny. Costner made the observation that Dutton needs to be proactive in what happens, and I've kind of had my own fantasy about how the character's final arc might be. Nevertheless, that is Taylor's thing. It was a while ago when I told him the same thing. Although I had some ideas about how it might take place, we will have to wait and see. Does this imply Kevin Costner will be returning to the show? No, not quite. Sheridan may be less than accommodating when it comes to revising his scripts for the remaining episodes of Yellowstone, even if it means giving the show's star one more send-off, according to the prior report in Puck, which was mentioned above. In spite of this, Costner appears to have a positive outlook on the issue. I would like to be able to do it, but we haven't been able to. I thought I was going to make 7 seasons, but right now we're at 5, Costner said. I'd like to be able to do it. In terms of how things turn out, I really hope that they do, but they have a lot of different shows going on at the moment. Perhaps it will be. It's possible that this will come full circle to me. In the event that it happens, and if I am completely at ease with it, I would be thrilled to participate. Now is the time to say goodbye to an era. When Yellowstone Season 5 resumed without a deal for Costner to return, the actor spent months praising the show in the press and declaring his readiness to return. Despite the fact that the writing was on the wall, the actor insisted that he would be returning. Now, with episodes already been filmed, Costner has admitted that he is finished with Yellowstone and will not be returning to the show in the future. After this long year and a half of working on Horizon and doing all the things that are required for it, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that after thinking about Yellowstone, that wonderful series that I love and that I know you love, I just want to let you know that I am thinking about it. According to a post that Costner made on his Instagram account, I just realized that I'm not going to be able to continue, whether to the 5th season or into the future. An additional statement made by Costner was, "I loved it, and I know you loved it, and I just wanted to let you know that I won't be returning again. I am excited about the relationship that we have been able to cultivate, and I will see you at the movies," she said. This week, Kevin Costner made the trailer for his new film, Horizon, an American saga, available to the public for the first time. Later on in this year, the film, which is the actor's personal passion project and which he personally sponsored, is scheduled to make its premiere in 2 parts. Fans of Yellowstone couldn't help but notice some similarities between the movie and the show, including the Western setting, Kevin Costner's role as a tough patriarch defending his land, and the massive cast of well-known character actors, including Will Patton, Giovanni Ribisi, Michael Rooker, Sam Worthington, Gina Malone, Luke Wilson, and a great number of other actors. However, despite the fact that the film encompasses a great deal of the same subject matter as Yellowstone, it is in no way tied to the popular television show. In contrast to the spin-off shows 1883 and 1923, which have lately chronicled the early years of the Dutton clan, the movie takes place during the American Civil War and does not document those early years. However, this has not prevented Yellowstone enthusiasts from gravitating toward the film because of its appeal. It was revealed by Good Housekeeping that fans of the popular show that airs on the Paramount Network are eagerly anticipating the release of the movies. This is not surprising given that Kevin Costner has been the show's main attraction and figurehead for a considerable amount of time. The first look at Kevin Costner's new multi-part Western Horizon, an American saga, was just been made public. The vast majority of Yellowstone fans, on the other hand, are solely interested in seeing the culmination of the story of the Dutton family and a preview of what will happen in the future. Yellowstone, in which Costner starred as John Dutton, was the catalyst for the revitalization of his career. Nevertheless, the conflicts that he has had with Paramount Network and showrunner Taylor Sheridan have cast doubt on the continuation of his involvement with the franchise. We're going to share everything that we know about Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, despite the fact that the return of the series is still a few months away. Moreover, we will continue to update this site whenever something that is noteworthy occurs. The first photographs of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 have been made available by Paramount Network, which has announced that the new episodes will be broadcast in only a few months. The first picture, which can be seen above, does not give John Dutton a very favorable appearance. The fact that his estranged adoptive son, Jamie Dutton, played by Wes Bentley, is present alongside Governor Perry, played by Wendy Moniz, may be the way in which the program decides to honor the passing of the former Governor John. Thomas Rainwater, played by Gil Birmingham, and Mo, played by Moses Brings Plenty, are depicted in the second picture, and it is presumed that they are making their own plans for Yellowstone Ranch. Without a scenario set on the porch, Yellowstone would certainly not be the same. Katie Long, played by Kelsey Asbill, Tate Dutton, played by Brecken Merrill, and Casey Dutton, played by Luke Grimes, are named in this instance. There is a high probability that Rip Wheeler and Beth Dutton, played by Kelly Reilly, will play a significant role in the narrative of the show in the years to come. Rip and Beth appear to be inseparable, and the strength of their relationship may be the deciding factor in determining whether or not the Duttons will still be in charge of the ranch by the time the season is over. In order to commemorate the 6th anniversary of the premiere of Yellowstone, the Paramount Network has officially disclosed the date on which the last episodes will be made available to the public. On Sunday, November 10, the second portion of Yellowstone Season 5 will premiere when it is broadcast on Paramount Network. On the same day, viewers in Canada will be able to watch it on Paramount Plus through the streaming service. Peacock has the streaming rights for Yellowstone in the United States, although it is still unknown how quickly those episodes will be made available on the service. In spite of the fact that there was a possibility that Costner and Paramount Network would be able to come to an agreement, the actor has made it clear that he will not be returning for the remaining episodes of Yellowstone. I just want to reach out and let you know that after this long year and a half of working on Horizon and doing all the things that's required, and thinking about Yellowstone, that beloved series that I love, that I know you love, Kevin Costner said in a video that was uploaded to his Instagram account. I just want to let you know that after all of this, I am writing this message to you. I have recently come to the conclusion that I will not be able to continue either through the 5th season or into the future. An additional statement made by Costner was, "I loved it, and I know you loved it, and I just wanted to let you know that I won't be returning again. I love the relationship we've been able to develop, and I'll see you at the movies." Costner's public attempts to rekindle a debate about his return began earlier this year. "I'll see you at the movies." During the month of March in the year 2024, Matthew Belloni of Puck News claimed that Kevin Costner was telling people that he will return in some way, possibly including a cameo. According to what Belloni stated, Kevin Costner has been telling people that he is planning to return for at least a cameo and possibly more, but there are presently no conversations for him to do that. Even if Costner dramatically reduces the amount of money and time he is willing to contribute, it is possible that Sheridan will not want to bother reopening his finished scripts in order to allow a send-off for John Dutton. It was hinted that Costner would make a comeback to the show. In the middle of June, Variety reported that Kevin Costner expressed his desire to return to the show, despite the fact that it seems as though the project is moving forward without him appearing. During an appearance on Today in June 2024, Kevin Costner stated, "I've supported that thing and I've loved it. I have placed a great deal of importance on it. Under the right conditions, which I believe is something that all of us want, I would jump at the chance to go back. In my opinion, it is absolutely necessary for there to be favorable conditions." Even at this late hour, Costner has not completely abandoned the idea that he might become available again. Costner continued by saying, "Every time you say there's a chance, there's always a chance. I adore the thing in question. You've got to be really explicit about that." After remaining silent on the matter for almost a year, Kevin Costner eventually made some public statements about the possibility of him returning to Yellowstone for the final episodes. His desire to come back is a positive development, yet even Kevin Costner is uncertain about whether or not this will actually take place. "I would like to be able to do it, but we haven't been able to. I thought I was going to make 7 seasons, but right now we're at 5, Kevin Costner said in an interview with Entertainment Tonight. In terms of how things turn out, I really hope that they do, but they have a lot of different shows going on at the moment. Perhaps it will be. It's possible that this will come full circle to me. In the event that it happens, and if I am completely at ease with it, I would be thrilled to participate." Additionally, it seemed as though Costner was indicating that he would like to have some input with the outcome of his character's story. "Dutton needs to be proactive in what happens, and I've kind of had my own fantasy about how the character's final arc might be," added Costner. "Dutton needs to be proactive in what happens. Nevertheless, that is Taylor's thing. It was a while ago when I told him the same thing. Although I had some ideas about how it might take place, we will have to wait and see." During an interview that took place at the beginning of May, Costner attempted to strike a more conciliatory tone. "To answer your question, no, Sheridan and I have not talked," stated Costner. "There are many distinct ways in which he is performing extraordinary job. He is incredibly prolific in the things that he does, and if he sees me in something that he wants to do, I will look at it in the same way that I did Yellowstone, and it is possible that we will end up doing something together. In addition to the fact that he enjoys many of the same things that I do, the possibility of us working together is not completely out of the question for me. The topics that he selects are ones that I find to be highly interesting. I find a lot of that to be appealing. Yellowstone is an example of something that has the potential to continue. In any case, that is a question for Taylor. On the other hand, I believe that he is doing other things that are really working well. He has a similar interest in the same topics as I do." The actor Kevin Costner discusses the reasons he decided to leave Yellowstone. In spite of the fact that Costner had been feeling more optimistic about the future earlier in the month of May, he came out with a more aggressive tone during his interview with Deadline on May 13, and he presented his side of the tale for the very first time. In light of the manner in which they had discussed it, Costner stated, Well, I haven't felt good about it over the course of the past year. Indeed, that was not truthful. From this point on, I will be discussing a little bit about what the actual reality was about it. I have a contract for the 5th, 6th, and 7th seasons of the show. A new agreement was reached in February, following a period of negotiation that lasted for 2 or 3 months. The original plan was to redo that one, but instead of seasons 6 and 7, they decided to go with seasons 5A and 5B. Perhaps we will go with 6. It was not possible for them to produce those. Despite the fact that Yellowstone was in the first position, Horizon was placed in the middle. Horizon was able to fill in the blanks. Simply put, they continued to move their gaps. When asked about the Yellowstone issue, Costner stated, "I don't want to get down in the gutter with the Yellowstone thing, but what I'm telling you is straight up. Those *****ing bastards have given me a beating, and I know more than a few times where it's coming from. I have been beaten by them. I basically made the decision to avoid getting into that. But if you know me well enough, you know that I made Yellowstone the top priority, and it would be inappropriate to imply that I would prioritize anything else. All of those things were not started by me in any way. It was true. Although they were performing a tap dance, this poor guy was also required to compose a great deal of material. Additionally, I am perplexed as to why they did not stand up for me. I could say no comment all the way through," Costner added. "I could stay silent. I will not say that my life is open to scrutiny or that any questions are fair game. Nonetheless, this is a question that is grounded in reality. I will deal with it then. They should have been aware that there was going to be a chance for me to make a statement during the next occasion. Over the course of the past year and a half, I have not been required to respond to the slings and arrows because I have simply been preoccupied with my work. The fact that nobody was ever on the record is evidence that they have been quite smart about keeping their hands off." In addition, Costner vehemently refuted the allegation that he was unable to film Yellowstone due to his obligations towards Horizon. "That would not be accurate," Costner stated. "It was during certain periods of time that we were unable to complete 10 episodes. Generally speaking, we would begin in the months of April and May, and we would go through the month of August. We would do 10. Not even 10 were completed by us throughout that period of time. I merely put in 43 days of work. That's a load of bullshit. That is not true. That wouldn't be accurate. For the purpose of promotion, they dispatched me to London for a period of 7 days so that I might see England during the COVID period. They were the ones who drafted the contract, and they chose the dates." The rumor that Costner was only willing to film 1 week of Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 was also explained by Costner, who also stated where the report originated. The screenplays for anything else were not available, according to Costner, who stated this. I answered, "Well, look, I'm doing my movie," which is what you read at the end of the article. I actually didn't have that week to give them, but I said, "I'll do that. If you want me to work a week because you want to kill me or anything else, I can give you a week." I said this because I truly didn't have other options. And after that, they twisted that into the statement, I only wanted to work for a week. I'm typically working 6 or 7 days per each, regardless of what they are. Costner described his work schedule. And they took that, and a source on their side spun that into, well, he only wants to work a week for an entire season, as the following sentence states. "Are you of the opinion that I am that? Never in my life have I been absent from work. I have never left before I have fulfilled all of my commitments under the contract. I try to remain as long as I possibly can most of the time. In point of fact, I worked the 9-day stretch in July just for the purpose of assisting them, even though I was going to begin working at Horizon on August 1. In spite of the fact that I worked for them on both Saturday and Sunday, they still need 4 more days. When I assumed that we were going to do this so-called B, I provided it to them, but there was no B item since there was nothing else. The only thing I was going to do was give them those additional 4 days. In spite of the fact that he was conducting this interview, Costner left door open for his comeback. But it appears to be a lot less likely now than it was before. When Sheridan was interviewed by The Hollywood Reporter in June of 2023, he provided a comment that was extremely illuminating to the topic. It was stated by him that the departure of Costner cuts short the conclusion of his character. It does not change it, but it shortens it. This suggests that John Dutton will not make it through the conclusion of Yellowstone, even if Costner does make a comeback. One of the hypotheses that have been proposed regarding the future of Dutton is that he will succumb to colon cancer. This information comes from Screen Rant. Dutton was able to make it through his initial round of treatment for that sickness during the first season. Luke Grimes, who plays John Dutton's youngest son, Case Dutton, recently had the opportunity to voice his thoughts over Kevin Costner's impending exit from the program. If that is the manner in which John Dutton passes away, then it would be a complete and utter realization of his destiny. In addition, he appears to be generally in agreement with Costner's choice. Whatever happened there is unfortunate if it's changed anything about how the show was going to unfold, Grimes said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. It's unfortunate that it's changed anything. I am aware that Costner became really busy with his films, which were more like passion projects. During an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Yellowstone co-star Ian Bohen disclosed that he has not yet seen any of the scripts for the last episodes of the show, but he is aware of the direction in which the plot is heading. Bohen said, "At a certain point, you have to do what you have to do, man. You have to do what you love." Additionally, he made a highly audacious forecast regarding the conclusion of the series. In his words, "The fans are going to get the best conclusion that could possibly be written," Bohen stated. "Every single item will come to rest in a manner that is precisely arranged. There are a lot of shows that just kind of end, and they don't leave you feeling satisfied. You can rest assured that this will be finished in a manner that will make sense." Bohen continued by saying, "I don't know of any show that has ever finished with such a strong conclusion. We are anticipating that the conclusion of this series will be the most memorable in the history of television. Could it be that I am overconfident, but I believe that is exactly what will happen. Thank you to everyone who has been patient with us. I assure you that it will be well worth the wait." Bohen also mentioned that he anticipates the production of Yellowstone's last season to resume in the month of May. However, it is possible that the production could be delayed until later in the summer. This is the overarching concept that Paramount Network conveyed to its audience when it revealed that Yellowstone would be coming to an end. According to a report on Puck, however, 3 of the show's key cast members, Kelly Reilly, Cole Hauser, and Luke Grimes, are currently engaged in a salary dispute with Paramount Network. The reason for this dispute is that they feel they should receive hefty raises in order to continue playing their respective roles as Beth Dutton, Rip Wheeler, and Case Dutton. It is also said in the report that those cast members are required to receive compensation for Yellowstone Season 6, despite the fact that the 6th season will not be created. That provision was included in their contracts for the series that came before this one. The performers and Paramount Network have not yet provided any indication as to whether or not they have reached an agreement. In the event that they do not re-sign with the new program, the spin-off series will suffer the loss of important characters that had the potential to serve as a bridge to the continued development of the franchise. Fans of Yellowstone may not see Rip and Beth for the final time in the 5th season, part 2 of the show. In a conversation with Country Living that took place in April 2024, Hauser revealed that his primary objective is to complete the remaining episodes of the series now. There was then a suggestion made by Hauser that there might be a future for Rip and Beth in further iterations of Yellowstone. "Right now, I'm so focused on finishing Yellowstone the way it needs to be finished." Well, just the show itself, Hauser said. "I'm so focused on finishing Yellowstone. I know that there is some stuff on the horizon when it comes to Taylor's ideas for Kelly Reilly, myself, and some of the other cast members. We'll see where that leads, but I know that there is some stuff on the horizon. Just for the time being, let's finish strong. Let's do the best we can. I'm curious to see where he goes creatively with it, but for the time being, let's just finish strong." In an interview with Collider that took place in March of 2024, Reilly expressed a similar perspective regarding the spin-off. To reiterate, Reilly's objective is to close out Yellowstone on a positive note. Reilly, on the other hand, refused to rule out the possibility of appearing in the spin-off. "All I care about is finishing the main show with as much care, as much passion, and as much love as I can muster to put into it," Reilly said. "It's the only thing that matters to me. That is the exclusive concern of mine. Currently, I am sort of getting ready for it, and that is the thing that I care about the most since it is my tunnel vision. The question is, what happens after that? There are conversations, as you are aware. Not everything that you read should be trusted. This is complete and utter bullshit. In any case, we are going to, wait and see what happens. I am unable to provide a response at this time, but we'll have to wait and see. The first half of Yellowstone Season 5 highlighted the complete disintegration of the relationship between Beth and her adoptive brother, who doubles as the black sheep of the family, Jamie Dutton, Wes Bentley. Beth and Jamie even publicly pondered murdering each other in a conflict that may destroy the Duttons. That is one of the key unsolved plotlines coming into the second half of the season. Note that Bentley's name was not mentioned in Puck's post about Yellowstone cast members demanding a raise for the spin-off series. If there's any reality to that claim, it may mean that Jamie isn't going to make it out of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2. This does not necessarily imply that Jamie will pass away. It may possibly suggest that he will be imprisoned or that he will be separated from his family. At this point, all we can do is conjecture. Matthew McConaughey's new character from the impending spin-off would be introduced in Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 if Sheridan wants to follow the accepted paradigm for television spin-offs. Yellowstone is a television show that is currently in production. The fact that there is no official rumor that McConaughey has even signed on for the spin-off is the only thing that might be considered a problem with that plan. Since February of 2023, the name of Matthew McConaughey has been brought up in connection with the spin-off. In the years since then, every Hollywood trade has simply stated that McConaughey is now in discussions to lead the spin-off. Until McConaughey actually puts his signature on the dotted line, it is all talk at this point. As of right now, there is no evidence to suggest that he has. Initially, there were only 6 episodes slated to be the final installment of the series. In 2023, Sheridan stated to Tiagar that he has the ability to alter that, provided that he makes the decision to do so. Sheridan stated, "If I believe that it will take 10 episodes to wrap it up, they will give me 10 to work with. It will take as much time as it is need to take."